Ahoy there! How you doing? I'm Gerry from Gerry Son and the Smokin Gun, and in this video I'm going to talk to you guys about the gear I use live and how to get that super secret sexy smoking gun sound. Got some guitars, I'll even talk about amps and pedals, even picks and slides, everything. I'm going to try and share all the secrets, tricks of the trade and everything I use in my toolkit. So let's get into it. So this is my guitar rack, as you can see here. We take 4 guitars on tour. There is 2 Les Pauls and 2 SGs there. There's some really special stuff happening with these guitars which I can talk you guys through. Not everything is standard, but I like to have guitars that look like they've got nothing wrong with them, and then there's secret tricks and stuff hidden under the hood. So let's start off with this Les Paul and we can talk you through it. So first guitar we're going to have a quick look at is this. This is my number one. This is a Gibson Les Paul 2016. It's a traditional Les Paul, traditional, as you can see there. 2016, made in USA. Oof, sounds like a great place. USA. They make great guitars there. As you can see, it's got a double A flamed maple, and it's got that kind of traditional 50s big chunky fat neck. I absolutely adore this neck. And the pickups are Alnico 2s. They've got the sneaky path sticker on them, which is a homage to the original PAFs that came out in about the burst era of the late 50s in the Les Pauls. But this is an incredible guitar. This is my number one stage guitar at the minute. The only real mods that I have done to this is something that I do to a lot of guitars. In a homage and a tribute to the great big hero of mine, Peter Green, I've had this pickup rewired. So the famous story about Peter Green's Les Paul, something happened to the pickup. It was taken to a shop. It was rewired by a guy who didn't know how to fix pickups, and it came back, it had this incredible sound, this out of phase sound. So I've had this guitar rewired by the great Mad Malco of Mad Malco Guitars. Check him out on Facebook, guys. So the trick is, it's three-way selector switch as usual, but you know these pole pieces are used at the other side, so the magnet's been flipped, the pickup's been reversed. So what happens is, when you want to go into that middle position, you can have the standard sound, but we've had it wired so that on this pot here, which is a push-push pot, observe, oh yes, no push-pulls, push, always push. So when you engage that switch, so it's standard, you've got your normal pickup sound in the third position, in the middle position of the three-way, and then if you want it out of phase, you hit that button and it engages it out of phase. So you can play with the volume controls and you can get that nice, almost Strat-like quality, you know, from a humbucker pickup. It's probably my favourite sound, and it's a mod that I fit in every guitar, which you'll see. But that's my number one. That is a 2016 Gibson Les Paul traditional. So the second guitar I'd love to show you guys is this sexy gold top right here. Now this is probably, I got this a couple of years ago, and you can see that it's a traditional Les Paul, you know, P90 50 style, top wrapped, because you have to top wrap them, man. It's badass, gives you a slinkier bend. We've got the kind of top hat style reflector knobs, which I love. I put them in as many guitars as possible. It's got a chunky neck, but it's narrow. It's kind of narrow at the nut, which makes it great. So the only ticket with this one is that it's not an Epiphone, it's not a Gibson. It is, in fact, I've never heard of this brand before. It's a Manito. Now I have no idea what Manito are or who they are. I did Google it one time, and all I could get info was that there's some kind of Far Eastern company that does guitar kits. So I don't really know. This guitar might have been built by somebody who bought a kit, but the finishes, I don't know if you see that gold, that glittery gold finish, it's just too nice, man. But really nice, and it only changes really where there was 50s style Les Paul Junior style tuners in line. So they were absolutely diabolical and didn't hold tune. So I had a set of Grover style tuners that I took off of a Epiphone Flying V, and they quickly got put on this, and it was all games, you know, all bets were off. It was incredible. It was my favourite guitar. It needed a fret level. I had the frets levelled by the one and only Jimmy Egypt in Glasgow, who did a great job, and the legendary Mad Malco of Mad Malco Guitars again fitted the Peter Green out of phase mod. So in the middle position, so you have the 4 tones, this pickup, both pickups and the neck, but in this position, the middle position, you can engage the out of phase with a sexy push. Oh yeah! So I love that as a lead sound, as an alternative lead sound, or as an alternative clean sound. You know, you can play with the volume tones, take them right back, you know, drop the tone a wee touch, and you get a nice, almost Strat-like sound. But absolutely incredible guitar, and it only costs 50 quid. Believe that or no. And my buddy Roddy, he was buying a Strat off a guy on buy sale for 50 quid. He bought 2 Strats that day. We asked the guy, "Are you selling anything else, buddy?" And he was like, "An amp, a guitar, I'm selling that gold top over there," pointing to this guitar sitting in a corner room just like that. And I was like, ah, oh yes, she will be mine. So for 50 quid I took it home, and it's been with me ever since. Incredible. So next guitar I'd like to show you guys, obviously the Les Paul was number 1, numero uno, the big boss man. Number 2 is jumping between this SG and the Les Paul that I just showed you guys. So let's have a look at the SG. It is a cheeky bit of gear, wait till you see this. It's a Gibson 50s Tribute SG, refinished in satin gold by the great man Graham at Raygun Relics. It is an absolute beast. And I got the pick guard. The pick guard didn't come fitted as standard. That was ordered from Pick Guardian, which is a company on Facebook that make insanely accurate repro pick guards, and they're so affordable. So get in touch with those guys. This guitar was originally black, and I'm so glad I had it refinned. And it's also got 24 frets and it P90s, which are ace. Oh, they're so killer. And it comes with my favourite tuners, which are Grover tuners, which are solid. So as I said, this is a 50s tribute. SGs didn't exist in the 50s, they were still making Les Pauls at the time. So as you can see, made in USA, they make great guitars there. 2013 model. And it says prototype. So that really only says prototype because it's a bit of a kind of joke, you know, they didn't make SGs in the 50s, they made Les Pauls. And then the first SGs were called Les Pauls, as we all know. It's got your trapezoid inlays, my favourite inlays. The neck has been rolled by myself. I rolled the neck and it's absolutely placed like butter. 24 frets, absolutely to die for me. The P90s are, I mean, Gibson invented the P90, so this is the definitive P90 essentially. Top wrapped again. Oh yeah, stunning. And the reflector, kind of top hat style knobs that I love so much. 3-way pickup selection. The P90 pickups again, so top, you've got the bottom, and then in the middle, like the other guitars, you've got 4 sounds. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, which is the 2 together, and with this sexy wee button press here, you've got the in phase, out of phase thing. So absolutely incredible. 24 frets, as I say, and once you have a guitar with such a great neck access and 24 frets, you want that in every single guitar because it is absolutely killer. The neck as well, because it's a 50s tribute, it has a fat 50s, I don't know if you can see that's pretty, but it's a chunker. It's a fat Les Paul style 50s neck, which I love. Les Paul fat Les Paul necks, you know. So when I got this refinned at Raygun Relics by Graham, I asked for a gold top because the idea was I wanted an SG that looked exactly like this sexy gold top here, as I've showed you already. Probably one of my favourite guitars. Fat neck, P90s, incredible. So I got that guitar. This was a black 50s tribute, as I say. I had it refinned in gold, and when I asked about having the guitar as a gold top, Graham said for the same price I can do the whole thing gold, so that was a no-brainer. So naturally I just made the whole thing gold, which is absolutely incredible. This guitar gets called Link after Link Ray, the famous SG player. And somebody also told me that I think the character in Zelda's called that as well, so flashback to your Nintendo days, guys. Awesome. So the final guitar I'd like to show you guys, last but no means least, is this sexy bit of gear here. So this is one of my favourite guitars. There's a lot of this guitar on the Pleasure Pursuits EP, if you guys have heard that. It's one available now on Spotify and etc to stream. It is 2009, I believe. I've never ever seen a SG with a maple neck like that at the time. I think they do a naked series or a raw power series, I believe it's called, with a maple neck, but this has got a lovely black binding, and my favourite tuners, the black Grovers, and a wee limited edition custom shop thing there. So what I can find out about this guitar is it's an SG negative, which was a run of guitars made for Long and McGlade, which is a company a guitar company in Canada, a music store. And this one somehow made its way to Scotland. An incredible guitar. It has a super thin knife-like neck. You know, it's the thinnest. I think this was the first SG I think I owned. It belonged to a mate of mine called Nelson, who used to be a manager of an old band I was in. And he had this guitar, and he's like, I'm looking to sell this guitar, mate. All right, great. Do you know anybody at all that could possibly buy it? I said, I'll take it and I'll see if I can find somebody. Took the guitar, took it home, carried it home in like 2 degrees in the snow with no guitar bag, and got it home, tuned it up, lowered the action. I think I restrung it eventually. Top wrapping again, incredible. And I just absolutely loved it. I'd played SGs before, but this was the one that I fell totally in love with the guitar. And the maple neck is to die for. It's just the most glassiest sound, super skinny neck, and it's the straightest neck. It's the fastest action I think of a guitar I've ever played. Love it. It has Alnico 5 humbuckers opposed to the more traditional Alnico 2s, the Path style. So this is for a more modern pickup sound. So that's why you hear this guitar on the Pleasure Pursuits record. And this is also scattered all over a song like this record and the album, Cheap Dirty Love. But incredible guitar, and much like the last couple I've showed you, some sexy mods hiding under the hood. I love it when the mods are under the hood. I love it when the guitar isn't littered with switches and stuff. So 3-way switch, same as usual, pickups, middle position. In the middle position we have the out of phase, much like the other ones, and these are the sexy speed knobs. But I also have an in-series mod here. So much again, so this turns the power of this humbucker into this one to make a massive humbucker. Great for kind of big, kind of sludgy, big rock sounds, big, you know, tear the walls down rock sounds. But you can also have both of these active at the same time, so you can activate that, which puts the two of them in series, and then you can add out of phase, so you have them in series and out of phase. So this guitar has, what would that be, 6 different sounds. So 1, 2, 3, your 3 standard sounds, and then in the middle, out of phase, or your other one, but that'd be number 5, just the in series or in series and out of phase together. So hiding under the hood, as I say, and if you need it, if you're looking to get any of those mods done, you can contact Mad Malco. He is available on Facebook, and he is absolutely incredible. He's my go-to guy. He's my main man for all my mods and all my electric guitar needs. Awesome. So that was my main live guitars. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. That was the 4 guitars that I really use in rotation live. Honourable mentions, I've got a Fender Strat, which I absolutely adore, which I use on a lot of songs in the studio. And I also have a Telecaster, which is a Gould Telecaster, which is used in a lot of stuff. But in terms of the guitars that I play live, those 4 are the mainstays, because they're absolutely incredible and do everything I need them to do, you know. But anyway, let's talk about amps. In terms of amps, my favourite amp and my live amp at the moment is a Fender Bassbreaker 15 amp, which is absolutely incredible. We'll get some pictures on the screen to show you. It's actually at HQ at the minute, and we can't rehearse there because of the COVID-19 carry-on that we're all facing. But hopefully get back in there soon and we'll play for you guys, can't wait. So that is my favourite amp at the minute. It's got so much bite. It's got that kind of, it's basically Fender trying to do a British style amp, which I adore. You know, I love the big traditional British kind of Marshall sound, your Vox sound. But I've just recently went to Fender with this Bassbreaker, which is absolutely incredible. You know, it does that Bluesbreaker Clapton sound to a T, and then you roll the volume back and it cleans up really well. But it also has 3 gain stages, which means, you know, you can really push it and, you know, and get really kind of modern contemporary sounds in terms of distortion. But I absolutely adore that amp. So at the minute, if you've seen any live videos of me in the studio, I am most notably using this amp right here, which is an original Fender Champ 600. I don't know if you can see it there. So this is the same amp from the 50s. Not this one, but it's the same amp that Clapton used to record Layla, that famous riff in Layla. And it's such a fun amp because it's still got the original swing tag as well. How awesome is that? But the great thing about this amp is it is literally just one knob, as you can see here. So you've got volume, and just when you thought Spinal Tap had it good, 11, this amp goes to 12. I mean, come on, what more can you ask for? A 50s amp for Fender, a Fender Champ 600 on-off switch, massive blinding red light, and your lead will go on either high or low output. So if you want some more distortion, you go into high. You want to clean it up a bit, you go low. But a lot of the time, I'm running this pretty hot. It's only 5 watts. It's a valve amp, 5 watts. It is absolutely. I just love the simplicity. Any tone-wise that you want to kind of change that. Obviously, it's not got tone controls or distortion or overdrive. But you run a wee reverb pedal on the top of it, and it's pretty badass because you just use your volume tones, volume and tone controls, and it is absolutely killer. So if you see any videos of me live playing from home, this is probably what you're hearing. This little beauty, this wee beauty, absolutely amazing. So pedals, you want to hear about pedals? I don't actually have my pedal board with me right now. It's at Smokin HQ, but I do have some picks and I can talk you through what we're running on the board. So let's take a look at the robots. So first of all, we start with, this is a brief overlook of what's going on the pedal board at the minute. So the signal first of all goes into a Whammy pedal, which is a Whammy 5 by Digitech. Absolutely incredible pitch shifting pedal. I use it in a lot of stuff. Absolutely incredible, so useful, and it's also got a harmony function, which is great if you want to kind of have a fifth above or below for, kind of harmony effects for your lead. This then goes into a DT7 Korg tuner, which is absolutely indestructible. It is the pedal that I probably have for as long as possible. It's probably the first pedal I bought. And then it's went from, I won't even tell you how long I've had it, it's been a million years. Built like a tank, and it always lasts. So this then goes into a compressor, which is another built like a tank pedal. It's a Boss compressor pedal, CS3, which is great if you want to have the long lead notes, the notes that last forever, like Gary Moore, Prison Walkway kind of style, ridiculous stuff. But it also works as well if you're kind of cleaning up your signal, if you want to kind of have a clean tone to get that kind of chucky funk sound. It's great. So then we're going to go into a wah pedal. I have owned ridiculous amounts of wah pedals and destroyed every single one of them. But I'll keep going back to the traditional Jim Dunlop Crybaby, which is the standard I see. I seem to modify these myself. I move the teeth that are on the kind of the pot on the inside to get my own scoop that I prefer. So I kind of customise them and I change parts on them sometimes. This then goes into a Tube Screamer, which is a Tube Screamer Mini. Amazing. It's almost identical to the TS9 to my ears. And it is absolutely amazing because it's tiny and it does the exact same job and it fits in your board perfectly. So this then goes into Soul Food. So the Tube Screamer is almost like you can have that on all the time. It's one of the pedals, you use your volume and tone controls. But if you want to have something that doesn't just push the tubes in the amp, but you want to have something that adds a bit of colour and ear tone, a bit of distortion, a bit of overdrive, then the Soul Food is a great clone style distortion overdrive clone. And I think it works great first if you want that wee bit more dirt in your signal. This then goes into Mod Core, NUX Mod Core Deluxe, which I've had 2 of these and they're amazing. They've got so many different sounds in them. So I mean, it's a multi-effects pedal, but I mean it has. Let's have a quick look. So if you can see that there, it has, starting from the bottom. My favourite, which I use it most for, is vibrato and Univibe. Probably the Univibe I'm using the most at the minute, and I also love the chorus and the flange effects. But as you can see, chorus, flange, phaser, tremolo, pan, rotary, Univibe, vibrato. The Univibe is probably my favourite. I mean, that's one of these sounds. It gives you that kind of Hendrix kind of vibe, I think, a lot of the time. But it's great as part of a lead tone. So we move from that into a super secret weapon, which is the iSomp pedal here. Now, the iSomp pedal is a Digitech pedal where you download an app on your iPhone and you can upload pedals to this pedal. So distortions, delays, reverbs, whatever you want, but this is a pitch shifting pedal. So I have this set up as an octave pedal with a custom graphic which I made on the front, which says I can't remember what it said, the award is not enough or something like that. It's so ridiculous. But as you can see, it's got octave down, fifth up, octave up, and then 2 octaves up. So got a lot of scope, much like a Pog, but I think I might upgrade to a Pog eventually if anything ever happens to this one. But for now, it's a great pedal, love it. That then moves into my Tremolo, which is a stereo Pulsar from Electro Harmonics, which is a great tremolo. The Mod Core also has a tremolo, but I have the Pulsar as a dedicated tremolo. Absolutely incredible tone. Great for anything from, you know, that kind of the thick kind of square wave to the almost rockabilly, you know, triangle kind of wave where it's grooving and great, you know. I then have this going into my favourite delay, which is the industry standard in terms of delay. It's a Boss DD7 digital delay. Now I have this set up mostly as a slapback because I just like that kind of slapback to thicken up the tone. So in terms of songs, like you'll probably hear the combination of the delay and the Pulsar tremolo on songs like Bring Out Your Dead. And Lover Tonight, Let Me Be Your Lover Tonight is using the DD7, so there's some great sounds, and the power is coming from a Power Plant Junior, and links will all be in the descriptions for all these pedals if you want to snap any of these up, guys. So let's move on. So that was my rig rundown, hope you enjoyed it, guys. We're going to do a live one from HQ so you can actually hear our amps, hear the pedals and the guitars all in action. And if you've got any questions at all, put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Click like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, God bless.